Okay, good morning everyone. It is a new week and a new day and a busy news day actually, and a busy Sunday for Larry Summers and the stock market and all the things that have been happening. Wow. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, actually. Wow. I was like, okay, so we're going to have Madame President in 2016. Lots are hoping. And now the hope is Chairwoman of the Federal Reserve, Janet Yellen. Oh, how a day can change things. That's why I keep telling you people, you need to live in the moment and love yourself and love who you are. Welcome to the program. This is the Diana White Show Live, and we thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. It is a blessed day. It's a great day to be alive, and it's a good day for you to simply say, I love me. Love yourselves. It's so important to do so, because then you can conquer just about everything else that comes your way. I am just thinking of the word money today, because I did not know that one man, as in the name Larry Summers, who, you know, he has a few things going on, like he was tied to Citibank and all that kind of stuff when, you know, regulation, and there's all kind of mumbo jumbo things that they're saying this morning, and oh, the people don't like him because, you know, he was one of the guys who made the economy crash in the past, because, you know, he was also part of the new Obama administration as, you know, advising the president on, because he's supposed to be an economic guru, a great economist. So how does one man allow the market to jump up today because he decided on Sunday to say that he's going to take his name out of the running for a candidate to be Federal Reserve Chairman to succeed Ben Bernanke? So now we're going to have to change the nobody knows, because everybody's saying, speculating, oh, Obama could be petty and decide that if he's not going to get his man, then he ain't going to make Yellen the person, even though all the women are very happy to know that a woman will take up this big job. Larry Summers, they say, and we've heard it before, when the president tried to appoint him, in years gone by. Oh my, it seems so long ago, but it really was just yesterday. There was something in his shadows talking about, you know, women are not that as men are. Remember those stories? I gather that was going to come to the surface again. So they didn't want to take any chances. So, and of course, people are saying that he was going to be more hawkish in terms of buying the bonds and, you know, keeping the economy stimulated by the feds. He was going to pull back more than Yellen will. And who say it's going to be Yellen anyway? Nobody's sure what President Obama is thinking in his little brain there. It could be anyone else. All the names are being floated this morning. So we're definitely going to watch that, because remember, the Federal Reserve is our central bank, and they set the monetary policy for the country, just like the ECB, the European Central Bank, sets the monetary policy for Europe. So, big things happening, and the market is just happy that Summers, did they hate the guy that much? Oh my God, if I was Larry Summers, I'd be feeling no love today. I actually feel sorry for him because, he doesn't need my sympathy because he's a big guy, with a big name and, but are you that much hated that the market was fluttering because your name was floating? And now that you have pulled your name out, the stock market is going up and away, even in Germany, around the world. Wow. Now that to me is a big wow story. So my word for you this week is money. Money can do good things. Money can do bad things. So, where are you on the money train? The Bible tells you it's the love of money that's evil, not money itself. Because I believe I don't love money. I like the things that money affords me to do. So if I want to help someone who's less fortunate, I don't have to do it and wonder if I'm going to be able to pay my bills. I can do it freely. If I want to help someone else, no matter what, or help the church or whatever I want to do with my charity, I don't have to feel deprived that I'm giving something away and I really don't have enough. But how do you see money? Do you see money as your savior? Some people pray to their money and the things that they buy with the money, they pray to that too. Wow. What a day this is. And yes, money can do lots of bad things. It can buy drugs. Like in the case of what we allegedly heard about Whitney Houston. Her money destroyed her. People buy guns when they have money. And the guns kill. People can go buy prostitutes with money because they have excess cash. But there are lots of good things you can do with money, like buy food and clothing and help someone else. The charity part of it is the greatest thing, because when you have a lot of money, it's so good, it feels so good when you can give some away. And you know you're helping someone else fulfill their lives. Some of the times you just have to buy someone a dinner because they never knew where that meal was coming from that day. Or you can find them a room somewhere and pay their rent for that room. And then miraculously, they have roof over their head. It might not be the greatest room or the one that they were accustomed to. And as I watched a movie on TBN over the weekend, I realize, and I hope you realize also, that people who are homeless are no less than you are. And you are not better than they are. And you should not scoff your noses at homeless people that come into your church because they were invited to come to your church by the minister, by the pastor, the preacher, whatever label you want to put on that person. Because you see, that homeless person has a story. And the story goes like this. I was married. We were doing well. We had our own house. But my husband died, and because of all his healthcare costs, I lost the house and everything I owned, and I ended up on the street. Ladies and gentlemen, it can happen to you. It can happen to me. And as we think about the fact that 5 years ago we were all reeling because all of our houses were underwater, the banks were crazy, and Lehman Brothers started the chain of destruction to the financial system. And remember the place it kind of started? In a little place called Iceland. So how many of you out there today are feeling so pompous because you have some money? and you believe that because you've gotten that money, you can't be homeless next week? Well, I'm here to advise you that you can be. And that's the reason you should enjoy every moment and live each day as if it is your last day on the planet. And I keep reminding you that when we all go, which we must go, I would love to live as long as Abraham, yes, to see my daughter through her challenges and her successes. But that is not promised. So live each day as if it's your last, and please live in the present and the now and forget about the past. Forget about all the evil people that are trying to stop you, block you, kill you, and do all those bad things to you. Keep your eye on the prize that is God and His Son Jesus. I promise you. And absolutely do not live in fear. Because a lot of people, they live in fear, you know. And be good stewards of the money that God provides and blesses you with. Why should you buy a dress for $1,000 when you can get one for $50? And that dress will make you look just as pretty as you would ever look in that $1,000 dress. If you really want that dress, that's $1,000, watch it and see the price go down. And then you buy it because you can indeed afford it. Don't waste the money that you're blessed with. It's so much better if you bless someone else. And here, it's a good place to tell you about the white fundraising party being thrown by Save a Life Jamaica Foundation. It's coming up like right now, October 5. And if you tell me you're watching me from around the world and you can't make it, then go on their website and donate it. $30 or more is what they're asking for, which for lots of you is just a throw in the bucket. So why not open our hearts and let it flow into helping someone less fortunate? So money is my word of this week. Because 5 years ago, we were all trembling and going to the bathroom very often to do number 2. Because our bodies could not believe what was going on in this country, the great United States of America. Could we have predicted the financial destruction that took place? Financial crisis, financial crash, whatever you want to put on it as a label. But what have we learned 5 years later? Have we learned anything? Well, someone says we've learned 10 things, so I'm going to share those 10 things with you. So, Mr. Summers, before I go to the money 10 things, well, I'm not sure why you withdrew, but whatever your reasons, I'm sure you know best, and you must have been guided by whomever your God is. But if it's Yellen or if it's someone else, we shall see. Who will President Obama pick? Not a lot of time to pick because Bernanke's term ends in January 2014. And as we buckle and fight with those crazy Tea Party Republicans, the fight for the 2014 congressional elections is going to be fierce. The governor of Florida, he's up for re-election also. And he's doing some crazy things in Florida. Wow. Anyway, here are the 10 things that we learned or should have learned because of what took place 5 years ago today. Bankers are gamblers, and some of them are actually stupid. Yeah? They gamble our money in derivatives and all kinds of stuff, not thinking or wondering if it's going to hurt the man on Main Street. And I'm yet to see the man on Main Street recover. Anyway, number 2, global financial system is too complex. It is really complex and intertwined. You know, one time America used to think that America is the world, but it really isn't, because we live in a global society and a global financial system. What happens here affects there. What happens there affects us. So let us open our minds and embrace people. And try not to be so divisive that we don't like black people, we don't like immigrants, we don't like brown people, we don't like Chinese people, and we'll soon learn that we don't like Indian people either, because Miss America, who was crowned as the first Indian Miss America in the United States, got lots of hate coming from Twitter. And who are the people that really are supposed to be on Twitter? I'm told it's mostly celebrities. Follow me on Twitter. So here's my address. So I'd like you to follow me on Twitter, because I don't do the hate thing. You see, I do the love thing on Twitter. The love thing, the God thing, the giving you, you know, some good things to think about. We should really think happy, you know. Think happy. Think good thoughts. Bring into your life each day all the things you want. All the things you think you need. Because sometimes what we think we need, we don't need. Because we can do without a lot of the material things that we do have. All they do is create dust anyway. Too many things create dust. The minimalist movement is moving fast and furious. Oh, wow. Okay. Number 3, entire markets can be manipulated too easily. I always think that the stock market is quite schizophrenic, you know, because I never knew, and I still don't understand why. You just don't know. Is it the numbers that for unemployment? Is it the numbers for this? Is it the numbers for that? Is it Larry Summers taking his name out that makes the market go up or down? Is it QE, which is quantitative easing, that is something that is practiced by the Federal Reserve? What is it that moves the market? Is it that Ben Bernanke is going to speak this week? What is it? Schizophrenia. The market. Okay. Regulators work for the regulated. So do rating agencies. Standard & Poor's, yeah. Why didn't they do the rating thing when the Bush administration was doing crazy things? But they were quick to do it when Obama was in power. Have you thought about that? So how credible are these rating agencies, as you call them? Okay. The crash forced us all to expand our vocabularies, because, you know, a lot of us didn't know what QE was. Quantitative easing. Yeah, I had that explained to me. A lot of us didn't know what derivatives were. A lot of us didn't know where Iceland was until the crash. So lots of us learned. I learned a lot in that process. How much did you learn? I hope you learned a lot of lessons, because here's the next one. The terrible reality about home prices. They can fall, and we can all be underwater with our mortgages. Check that, because I think that was the effect for most regular people. Because a lot of us, we don't have no money in the stock market to lose, or, you know, worried about derivatives or Iceland or anything like that. But we knew that we thought that our houses will appreciate as they were appreciating too quickly, I think, at the time. So we all felt it. The shock in our systems. And it's still going down, because if you live in places like Florida, your property values are going down and your insurance is going up. Property taxes going up too. What's that about? So the property is worth less, but you're paying more property taxes and more what? Insurance? Who knew? So, here's this one which I thought was quite funny. Investors are muppets and consumers are suckers. That's one of the things you should have learned. Okay, investors are muppets and we the consumers are suckers. Okay. Alright, austerity isn't prosperity. You know those Republicans who want to kill government, yet they're applying for a government job and they want to work for the government so they can have power over you and I? Because that's the reason you hear these politicians talk about austerity. Ooh, austerity does not create prosperity. Spending wisely creates prosperity. And if you are risky, or you have the money to risk, because I think you should only invest that which you can afford to lose, because investing is risky business. So if you are inclined to invest, then you can be prosperous. But the political thought, it never worked in London, in Britain. It didn't work in Britain. And it didn't work in a lot of other places. So why is it that Republicans think that austerity measures work here? It's not really working because too many people are still out of jobs. Too many people are still sleeping in their cars. Too many Americans are still going to the soup kitchen for their only meal for the day. And too many Americans are in shelters and on the street corner and under the bridge. So when are our Republican friends going to stop threatening that they're going to shut down the government? Oh, I'm going to shut it down because I don't want to fund Obamacare. Is Obamacare going to be the lifelong song of the Republican Party? Is it going to be? And are some of the Democrats who are still mad with President Obama because they all think that he's the one who made them lose the 2010, remember the 2010 congressional elections, midterm elections? Well, let's see what happens in 2014. So if the Republicans insist on shutting down the government, who would you blame? When if you get Social Security, you won't get a check. If you are a soldier, you won't get any checks and all that kind of stuff. Woo, woo. Who are we going to blame? The Democrats? The Republicans? Are just the government in total? From Obama on down. Who do you blame? And are the Republicans really going to do what Newt Gingrich did how many umpteen years ago? Which helped, in the minds of some, destroy the Republican Party? And why is it that the Republican Party just seemed to be a party of haters? What is that about? Are the people electing them to go to Washington to be haters? Or are the people electing them to go to Washington to do the people's business? I'm not so sure. I'm simply wondering about the Republican Party and how they're allowing people like Sean Hannity to take over. Ted Cruz, Rand Paul, those people. But the amazing and the most amazing thing to me is why these guys hate government so much, but they want a government job. Don't they consider their jobs as congressmen and women and senators to be a government job? It is a government job. We are paying them to do our business. But they seem to go there and they get this, I don't know what's wrong with their head or their minds or what, but once they get to Washington, oh my God, it seems like they lose all perspective of what they ran on. They forget the people they represent, and all they're thinking about is how can I raise enough money to win again. And please, I don't want to hear any more talk about Joe Biden wanting to run to be president in 2016. Please stop it. Remember Joe Biden, who ran for president? How many votes did he even get? We all love our Vice President, Joe Biden. But Joe Biden needs not to be running for president in 2016. And that's my opinion. Yeah? Come on now. Let's give it up. Wow. And let us stop acting as if we're God anyway. We're trying to predict who's going to win and who's not going to win. Yeah, we all would love to hear Madam President and Federal Chairwoman Janet Yellen. But let us wait and see. Isn't it? The suspense is good for our health. And I don't know why we're talking about 2016. Can we just wait until next year after the midterm elections to think about 2016? And are you planning to volunteer for any of these politicians anymore? I'm thinking really not to. Because when they win, they seem to forget about all of us. Whether you volunteered or you didn't volunteer, they don't really give a crap about you. They just want to win. Okay. All right. Number 9. There are no safe investments or guaranteed returns. And oh, how those people in the market learned that. There are no safe investments. Gold is big today, and tomorrow it goes down 20 points. Oil is up today, and tomorrow it goes down. Tech stocks are up today. And then when they don't like what Apple said or what they announced last week, they go, ooh, I'm not buying Apple. What is it that makes the market tick? Think about that, because remember, my word for this week is money. What would you do if you won the lottery? What would be the first thing you would do? Would you be charitable as the first thing, or would you not be? Would you go out and buy 10 cars, 10 houses, and act as if you can now buy a plane? I've seen that. If you watch the show that says, you know, how lottery changed my life, you will see the people, the things they do. And how on earth do you win all that money that you did not work for? You were just blessed, and then you squander it and become homeless? Who knew that could happen? Yes, it can happen. It has happened to a few of them. Some of them have nothing but destruction and disaster in their families. Granddaughter committing suicide by OD because granddad is giving her how many thousands of dollars per month to live on, and she's a teenager. So she takes it and she does what money does in the bad thing. She buys some drugs and she ODs. Not just for herself, but for herself and her beau. Wow. Number 10. The banker who kills, and this one is crucial. The banker who kills the bank keeps most of the money. Isn't that increíble? The banker who killed the system keeps all of his money, and yet that same bank who we bailed out with our tax dollars is still trying to kill homeowners. And when you have a business and your people are not paying you, are you supposed to be expected to pay your debt? I think all debtors should be forgiven. Because if you're not collecting from those people who owe you, why are you being hammered to pay your debt? And that's what's happening to a lot of people who were in business and lost their businesses because of the economic crash. Money, our focus for this week. And the money is I want you to not think about what the Bible says, because everybody, when you think of the Bible, people misinterpret it. And it simply means it's the love of money. Don't pray to your money. As a matter of fact, be like Buffett, who gives it away after his wife died. And Bill Gates, who has so much he can give so much to charity. That's what I want for myself. I want to be financially stable, independent, have a lot and lots of money, so when I give, I feel good, as opposed to when you give, You're wondering, oh my God, I just gave away that $200 and what am I going to do for groceries? So money is not a bad thing. Money is a good thing. It's the love of that money. Or it's the abuse of that money, using it to buy things like cocaine and drugs and doing wrong things with it. Trying to hurt people, intimidate people. That's the bad part of money. So let us not kill money. Money, everybody wants to have more money. But the bad thing is, the more they have is the more they seem to want. Can we just be satisfied? Or we are just as bad as a drug dealer who gets his first hit and make his first million, and then he just want to get some more instead of getting out and spending what he had wisely. Where are you with the money train? Are you loving yourself today? It's a new week, it's a new day, and a new day for you to live in contentment, in humility. Wow, I just thought of something. There's something in the water in a parish that actually killed a young boy. It's called an amoeba. Maybe I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. So if you're drinking water like I just did, make sure the water doesn't get into your nose. If it gets into your stomach, your digestive system will take care of the amoeba. But if it gets through your nose, it can actually kill you because it goes up into your brain and do all kind of crazy things. And one young man, a young boy, seems like he was about 6 or 5 years old, died because the bacteria went through his nose and into his brain and created havoc. So should we all now keep our children away from those hydrants, especially, excuse me, now that it's hot and people are going out to try to get cool? You go downtown, any town, and there's waterfalls and kids are running up and down in the water. Are we now have to say to our children, stay away from the garden hose? And when you're drinking water, please make sure none of it gets in your nostrils? Wow. The world is becoming a very complicated place. A very crazy place. Because you do note that a lot of people, yes, are doing some crazy things. We're coming up to the 11 o'clock hour, so I'm going to do something here and set up one of the promos that I do have here to run for you, and I'll be back in just a moment. Hello everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book, available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Okay, we are back, and this is the Diana Wright Show Live. We welcome you from around the world and in the United States. And we thank you so much for joining us on this, a new day, a new week begins, a new week of blessings, and you must declare and decree blessings in your life every single day. Shout a little bit in your house, praise God, open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing. Do crazy things, run up and down in your house and do the 23rd Psalm, or get the scripture of Joel and, asking God to restore all that the crazy cankerworm and the, caterpillar and everything has stolen from your life and the locust has eaten. Come on. Let's give praises to God and let's love one another as much as we can. Because remember, love thy neighbor as thyself. Doesn't mean you have to love up and, go to dinner with your neighbor. But stop the hate. Oh my goodness, you have some neighbors that are like Hitlers. Seriously. Making other neighbors' life unhappy. Some people are afraid of coming out of their house when that guy is walking the streets. No, that is not right. But anyway, we see now that racism is alive and well in America. So the first Indian young woman wins the Miss America over the weekend. And she's 24 years old. She's Miss New York. Her name is Nina Davaluri. So we know that's Indian, okay. So the crazy haters goes on Twitter and they tweet and they tweet and they tweet. All hate against this poor young woman who just entered the contest. She's beautiful, no doubt. She's smart, wants to be a physician. She's on the dean's list. So, is there something wrong with being Indian and being Miss America? I would like to know. The people who are on Twitter, and they're just a bunch of haters that are on Twitter in particular. Because Facebook will shut you down if you come on with any crazies. They'll shut you down before it gets to the person you're trying to offend. Because there are lots of people who, the minute you succeed, they're just there to cut you down. They don't know your journey. They don't really know your story because they think they know you because they see you on television, hear you on radio, or see you in the press, or, like we think we know Barack Obama. We don't. Not even Michelle, his wife, knows him. Because you don't really know people, because you can't read minds. When you live with someone and you're married to them, yes, you kind of figure them out and you kind of know what they will do and won't do, and no, you don't know what they will do. Because sometimes your husband will do something that shocks every fiber of your being. So you don't know. Barack Obama does not know what Michelle Obama is thinking or what she will or won't do at any given time. And for people who lose it, especially women, because they lost a relationship with a guy or they found their guy with someone else who they thought was their girlfriend, or children who found out that their fathers are cheating on their mothers and all that kind of stuff, you don't know what someone is capable of doing. So why do we wait like bandits on Twitter to blast, to say all kind of negative things about this young woman who they don't even know? She has never done anything to them, but she's Indian and she's Miss America. And I guess being Indian is not representative of being American. Oh my God, please. Can we just give some more love instead of all that hate? And even if you hate the woman because she's Indian, can you just keep it to yourself and not go on Twitter and try to hurt someone's feelings? This young girl now being exposed to all of this hate and bitterness at 24. So we ask you on the Diana Wright Show to pray for this young lady. Just pray for her. Ask God to give her guidance and protection from all these evil haters. Because whether you're Indian, Chinese, black, white, or green, you should be able, if you were born here and you're American, to be crowned Miss America. My word. Wow. Oof. Okay. Now the big news of the day, of course, is gunfighting again. But this time, where is it? In the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C. A man just comes in. How do you get in there with a gun to go kill people anyway? Those places, the Navy Yard in Washington, D.C. has security up the gazoo. So how do people actually get in to go do crazy things like this and injuring several people? How does that happen? And when I came on the air live, they still could not find him. What is going on? And what has happened to gun control? Remember Sandy Hook? When we all were giving lip service. You know, it's just like the 50th anniversary of Martin Luther King. Where are we as black people? Why is it that because you're black or you might have an accent, oh, if you're white and have an accent, it's okay. You can get on to CNN and MSNBC and, you know. But if you're black and you have an accent, and even though you're so smart, or you're good at what you do, you have no chance of getting on CNN or MSNBC. So who are we that we should judge? And how do we have gun control being hijacked by the NRA? Because they're hijacking it. Because universal background checks and gun control is going no place. Haven't you noticed? Immigration is going nowhere either. Everything is on the table. Well, Syria has ruled the world for the past few weeks. Now we are hearing that the Secretary Kerry's counterpart in Russia is saying that Secretary Kerry need to go back and read the plan because he's not getting it properly. Oh my word. Wow. When we think these people are supposed to be smart and lead us, that's why I'm not a good follower, you know. I have to lead. I'm a leader. Because I don't want anybody telling me no crap and expecting me to follow. No, not doing that. So teach your children to be leaders and not followers. And continue to teach your children about stranger danger. It's important. Because you know, some crazies are out there. Yes, they are still out there. They're not going anyplace. Okay? So I promise you that. I need you to do that. Keep that in mind. Okay, so we see now that the NYPD, just continuing in the vein of the violence here. NYPD, they went trigger happy in Times Square on Saturday. And the man they were trying to shoot, they missed and shot 2 innocent bystanders. Now, they're not dead, the 2 innocent bystanders. But shouldn't we kind of figure out another way before we start? And this is not the first time it's happened in New York. This, to my memory, it's the second time. I know it might be more. So what shall we do now about the NYPD? Oh, they saw the man put his hand in his pocket. And when it came out with nothing in his hand, he was, you know, giving the symbol of trying to shoot somebody. Come on, guys. How many times is this going to happen where people are not armed and the police shoot without getting their target and then kill or injure other people that are there innocently? Times Square? I know you've been to Times Square. It's always busy. Couldn't the cops have found a better way than to create chaos in Times Square on a Saturday? I take a breath. Sometimes when you think about politics and violence and immigration and gun control and all those other things, it just overwhelms you. But you can't allow it to. You have to breathe. as my good friend Dax would say, who joins me on a Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday with Dax Dunn and Diana Wright, right here on the Diana Wright Show Live. And you can find us at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. It's easy to remember. Tell your friends, spread the word on Facebook, and give us a thumbs up. And of course, please follow me on Twitter, because, you know, those celebrities that you're following, I don't know. I don't know about that. Okay, I'm going to deal with the internet for a little bit here, because I saw a very disturbing story about a teenager, again, committing suicide because of warring on texting. So people are abusing her, texting her bad messages, and her mom, because she didn't want to pry, did not check her text, and now she says, oh, I should have checked her text and make her be mad with me, and maybe she would still be alive. Absolutely, parents, you need to check those texts. I do. I check my daughter's text, and if I go in the room and she's coming off the computer, I want to know where she was. And I want to see the text too. Don't be lying, because I know how to go back and check to see what websites you were on. You need to let your children know that you are interested, you're engaged, you're in tune to what they're doing. Just the same way I will help her read a passage and explain it and let her understand some business terms and terminologies better. I need to know who she's talking to. I need to know who her friends are. And if I don't know their parents, I don't want her going to anybody's house. Because you never know what influence other teenagers will do to your teenager. So parents, be vigilant. Don't be afraid to take up that phone and that iPad and that laptop and that desktop and check to see where your children are going. What sites are they visiting? Who are they texting? You might just find out that they're texting some criminal somewhere who's just planning to come and find them and kill them. Think of your lives, the lives you can change, the lives you can save because of just being a little snoopy. This mother talking about, oh, she wished she had snooted a little bit more. Her daughter would be alive. She would be mad with her, but still alive. Because she gave her privacy? What privacy are you talking about? Young people living at home should have no privacy when it comes to certain things. Yeah, they should have privacy when they go to the bathroom, but that's it. And there's no television that need to be in their rooms anyway. Even though they use their computers and trick you now and watch the shows on on their computers. So you think you're locking out the TV and they're watching the show on their laptop and their desktop in their room. And if you go in, like I do, I love to just turn up. And that's what you should do. And there are no closed doors in my house. You better not be locking no doors. What are you doing behind those doors, teenagers? Parents, don't be afraid to monitor your children and what they're doing. Monitor their friends. Talk to their friends. When you talk to their friends, are they talking the way you would like them to be talking? Or are they crazy? Lots of crazy people in the world these days, along with a lot of haters. So let us give some love. And let us take another break and come back in just a moment. And that moment is now. As I set this up, I'm going to go to a break and come back to you in just a moment. Back in a moment. Wherever you are around the world and in the United States, please join the conversation. Give me a call at 561-228-1921. We discuss issues around the world that includes love, sex, and life in general. So join me Monday through Friday, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. wherever you are around the world and in the United States. Please join the conversation. Give me a call at 561-228-1921. We discuss issues around the world that includes love, sex, and life in general. So join me Monday through Friday, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Okay, we're back and you're watching the Diana Wright Show live, and we welcome you from around the world and in the United States. And thank you so much for joining us today. I remind you of the Save a Life Jamaica Foundation White fundraising party that's coming up right on our heels, October 5, and it's going to be in Palm Beach County and right on the corner of 441 and Lake Worth. Easy to find, easy location, lots of parking, only costing you $30, and we'd like for you to come out in your droves. You can pay at the door. Come out and support the charity to save lives in Jamaica and around the world. All right? Thank you so much for that. And we continue now with, I'm going to stay online for a minute because there are lots of people who are taking selfies, as they call it. So women and young girls are taking selfies of their vajayjays, of their men are doing the private parts thing like Anthony Weiner, and then they post it on Twitter, or they post it somewhere, or they send it by phone or text to their significant other. But guess what the bad thing is? The bad thing, or they're allowing their significant other to convince them to tape their sexcapades. Why would you want someone to do that? That should be your private moment. Hello? Are we gone crazy or what? So, what's happening is that this woman who allowed and agreed to her boyfriend to tape their sexcapades, but then they broke up. So what happens when they break up? They break up, and the person who feels like the broken-hearted person decides to go and take those photos and put them online. Oh my God. And if the photos or the video was taken by you, then you can't complain. But if it was taken by the other party, even though you agreed to it, they don't have your permission to put it online. So, please get it straight. If you're planning to take some selfies of your vajayjay and your private penis and all those kind of things, and don't get suckered like Anthony Weiner and those women who are trying to get 5 minutes of fame, be cautious. Think twice before you take what are you taking a selfie for anyway? Are you so into yourself that you need to take a picture of yourself? Absolutely not. Selfies. That's what they're called. So stay away from the selfies of your private parts, and young women, stop sending photos of your vajayjay to a boy that you want to be with. It is disgusting. Simple. I keep telling you, the reason that God put your vajayjay all the way there is because He wanted you to make sure that you protect it. Keep it from harm. And don't share it so easily with each and everyone else. Yeah? So we need to teach our children some hard knocks. Seriously. We need to have plain, straight talks with our daughters and our sons. We need to explain to our daughters that, look, my sister, my daughter, my love of my life, because most of us, our children, are the love of our lives. If you have sex before you're married, you create lots of problems for yourself. Not only can you get some disease or some kind of, thing to make you itch or whatever else you get, then later on you can get cervical cancer because you started having sex too soon. But why? If a guy truly loves you and respects you and wants to be with you, he will wait. Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well, because I'm inviting you to my first book signing, and that will take place October 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. It's going to be in Plantation at the Midtown 24. The address is 700 Southwest 78th Avenue, and that's of course in Plantation. We ask you to join us from 6 to 9 p.m. and if you need further information, please give me a call at 561-228-1921. I'm inviting all my friends and supporters to come out and let me autograph your book for you if you already purchased the book. But if you haven't, it will be there on sale. And if you run out, wow, I will find a way to get you your copy by mail. So bring 10 friends, and if you bring 10 friends, what I promise to do is give you an autographed copy of my book, Deadly Negligence. So I promise you that this book, when you read it, it will give you hope. It will increase your faith, and it will let you believe in miracles again. So do join me October 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. for the book signing of Deadly Negligence, taking place at Midtown 24. The Alibi Room, that is, and it's at 700 Southwest 78th Avenue in Plantation. And there'll be lots and lots of things going on, and you don't want to be late because I want you to absorb everything. And I promise you that this story and this experience will be a captivating one. So join me October 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Alibi Room at Midtown 24, 700 Southwest 78th Avenue, and that's in Plantation, Florida. Look forward to seeing you, meeting you, and greeting you, and of course sharing my testimony with you. Have a great evening, and take care, and be blessed. Remember the magic words: I love me. Okay, we're back, and the coughing. Wow. So please, ladies, and gentlemen, because we see what happened to Anthony Weiner, just be cautious of the selfies and putting things that you don't really want out there online, or texting it or putting it on Twitter. No, please don't. Don't do that. Okay. I'm going to end the morning by asking this question. Do people not have anything to do? There's a vegan man called Brent Caldwell of Michigan. He's protesting the use of condensed milk in pumpkin spice latte sold by Starbucks because there is no vegan option for the pumpkin spice latte. Really? So he's protesting, and he's gone to some great extent to get this out there to the public. I picked it up and I thought, ridiculous. So we'll just put that in the stupid pile. How about that? Thank you so much for joining me today, and don't forget my book signing. The first one is coming up on October 19th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Midtown 24, and that's in Plantation in the Alibi Room, 700 Southwest 78th Avenue in Plantation. That's in Broward County in Florida. And I hope that you can join me there. But don't forget, if you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Money is our word for the week. Keep that in mind and see what money does and what it doesn't. Are you praying to your money? No. You should be saying the magic words every single day. I love me. Thank you so much for joining me today. Be blessed and have a great day and a successful and blessed week. And don't forget to declare your blessings every single day that you wake up. Take care.